Yes, good morning. Good morning. Well, I'd like to recognize Sandra Bradbury, the mayor of Pinellas Park, as well as Andy Fossa, the incident commander and emergency management director for Pasco County. This whole thing, they had about a 24-hour notice to put this together, and so they've done an outstanding job. Everyone's happy to be getting shots. Also was pleased to be able to this morning, I came from Paradise Island Mobile Home Park in Largo, and as part of our homebound senior program, we had the ability to go. We started off with Holocaust survivors down in South Florida. We'd actually send people to seniors. These are mostly people 85, 90, 95, even 100 years old. So we did that. We did the Bay of Pigs veterans in Miami-Dade. We had a huge outpouring for support for that. And then we did the World War II and Korea veterans. So this morning I was at the home of a fellow named Vern Cummings, who's going to be 95 in a couple weeks, served in the Pacific in World War II. As soon as he got on the graduated high school, he shipped out to the Navy, and so we were in his home. We were able to do it on live television, and we were able to get him his first shot. His wife Dottie, he's been married to almost 69 years. She actually had gotten a shot. But you know, it's not always easy to get around and get the appointments, and so we think that this program has been very successful. We've done over 1,000 seniors by going to their homes, and we have hundreds of World War II and Korea veterans that are signed up. Today I'm excited to announce the opening of this vaccination site here in Pinellas Park. It'll be 3 days, 3,000 shots to seniors 65 and older. And it'll be the Moderna vaccine. All the appointments are going to be handled by Pinellas County, so we thank them for their partnership. What we're doing is, we've done these in senior communities across the state. It's been very successful. But we also looked at our statewide for seniors. We've done about 42% of all seniors have gotten a shot in the state of Florida. That's one of the highest percentages in the country. But in Pinellas County, we're at 35% right now. And as we were looking at the numbers, it was even lower, of course, last week. So we said some of those areas that are below, that have a lot of seniors, that are percentages below the state average, we want to surge more doses and everything there. So this is part of that effort to be able to up the doses in Pinellas County. And I'm also pleased to announce that next week, we're going to do an additional 5,000 doses and do another one of these sites. And so that's helping out for folks. So our Seniors First strategy is what we're going to do until every senior in Florida that wants a shot gets a shot. We've now hit, when we did Vern Cummings down in Largo, we believe that's the 2 million senior, because if you look, we're over 1.9 million reported, but there's a 3 or 4 day lag. So we think we've cleared 2 million seniors, and of all the doses we've given, we're getting close to 80% of every dose has gone to a senior citizen in the state of Florida. That's one of the highest in the country. And as I mentioned, we've done 42% of all seniors have gotten at least one shot, and that's one of the best in the country, and we're not gonna stop. We've also worked in a variety of different ways to be able to get the vaccine out to senior citizens. We've partnered with more than 70 faith-based communities and have done more than 40,000 vaccinations just through the faith-based program. We've worked with a lot of African-American churches and other churches in Pinellas. There was a vaccine event that we did at Mount Zion Progressive Missionary. We also have 105 community sites, including 2 permanent state-supported sites in Pinellas. One is the Center for Health Equity, which is doing 9,000 doses a week, as well as Palm Harbor Parks and Recreation, which does 4,500 doses a week. And so now here in Pinellas Park, that's going to be another 3,000 over these next 3 days. And as I mentioned, Pinellas, the doses that they've been getting, obviously that continues. There's going to be an additional 5,000 on top of that. And so that'll likely be just another site set up somewhere. So we'll have more information on that and provide that to folks when we do. And as I mentioned, we've done the homebound program. We've done over 1,000 seniors on that. And then we have hundreds more that are signed up, a lot of World War II and Korea vets, and we're going to do it. It's interesting, Vern, he does honor flight. He's already done his honor flight years ago. he goes on honor flights, and he actually will wheel around Korean War veterans and World War II veterans. And so they had to stop that because of COVID. And one of the things he said was, now that we're getting our shots, we could do the honor flights again. So we look forward to doing that as well. So you have the stuff with the state-supported sites through the county, but you also have 6 Walmarts in Pinellas County that are offering. It's a combination of Walmart and Sam's Club. So you can schedule vaccine appointments at those sites, walmart.com/COVID vaccine and samsclub.com/COVID vaccine. So Walmart just came online last week as part of the federal pharmacy program. Seems to have gone really well. People are pretty happy with it. So we'd urge people to check that out. And then also with Publix and their pharmacies, they're in almost 600 Publix now where you can get a COVID vaccine, including 42 Publix right here in Pinellas County where you can get that. They expanded to Publix, to Pinellas in a big way just recently. So I think you're going to start to see that Publix, those numbers contribute to the vaccines increasing in Pinellas County. And I think you're going to end up, we're at 35% here of seniors that have gotten it. Obviously, this site helps, the 5,000 next week, but the Publix is going to help. And I think you'll start seeing that in the numbers very quickly. If you want to try to get an appointment there, it's publix.com/COVID vaccine. So we're going to continue to work, and we're going to have some more additional announcements about pharmacies because we think that the program can go even farther. So the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, we're going to probably get an approval on that at the end of February. And I think the big thing is how many vaccines are we going to get? They will ship vaccine the next day. There's no doubt about that. The question is, are we going to get 50,000? Or are we going to get 500,000? If we get 500,000, that's going to really be a game changer. If we get 50, obviously we'll use it, but it's not necessarily going to change the trajectory. We are, though, getting more vaccine. We were at 325,000 last week. We're going to have a net increase of 41,000 for the next week shipping. Keep in mind, I mentioned this yesterday, the Moderna still has not shipped for this week. So normally those Moderna would be done today. But because of the storms that we're seeing throughout the country, it's basically sitting in the FedEx warehouse. I don't even think they can get into it because of everything. So that's going to happen, whether that's tomorrow or the weekend. Some say it could even last till Monday. So what I'd say, if you had an appointment and the Moderna hasn't come, just hang in there. The doses are going to get here, but you have some extreme weather that's keeping those doses out of Florida. We think that the trends are obviously good across the country with COVID. Florida, things are going down. Our hospital census continues to drop for patients being treated with COVID. We're far, far below where we were over the summer, and probably we're down probably 45% from even the winter peak, which was much lower than the summer peak. So we think these vaccines for the seniors is going to help us drive down that hospital census even more. So we've got 2 million. We've got 4.5 million seniors in the state of Florida. I know not everyone's going to want it, but I think most seniors are. So we're just going to keep on going, hundreds of thousands a week. And if we can get more vaccine, obviously we're going to do more. But we appreciate being able to be here in Pinellas Park. And as I said, we're going to continue to designate doses to Pinellas County. We want to be able to get those doses up. So with that, I'm happy to take any questions. You should ask them what they did. I'm not sure. What we do with these senior community sites, what we do is we identify places that have it. We then work with the local community and the senior facility. So like we did at Sun City Center a couple weeks ago, and then they really handle trying to work that through. Basically, this thing here, for example, they set that up in 24 hours. Now. Well, that's not, we didn't do that. So you have to ask them why they do it. What we do is we trust them to be able to sign people up. But here's the thing. When you're doing a site like this is not coming from the doses that are already in the county. This is in addition to what is already here. So this is a site that if we didn't do this here, Pinellas would still have gotten what they did. This is 3,000 above and beyond. So we think it's effective to be able to go in, and obviously it's short notice because we're trying to find out who needs vaccine, where's the percentages doing well. It's interesting. You wouldn't think some of the places that have done really well, it's not like they had any special vaccine dumps, but you have some places in Florida, 65% of the seniors in some counties, Leon County, St. Johns County. I mean, it's pretty impressive, and that's great. But when we have some that are in the 30s, you know, we want to be able to do it. So that's why we're here in Pinellas. Yes. So we will definitely look into that. Now, we have done a huge number of the second doses. If you look, it's skyrocketing, and so people are getting them. You know, we hear some of the things, and then we follow up on it. So we'll absolutely look at that. You need to do the second dose. I mean, that's what it's prescribed for. Now, I will say, and this is not a change in policy in Florida, we believe in the two-dose regimen. That's what's going to happen until there's some type of clinical guidance or something different. There was a letter submitted to the New England Journal of Medicine this week that said, with the Pfizer vaccine, based on their data, that it was 93% effective with one dose after 2 weeks. Now, that's not enough for us to change our policy, obviously. We're going to do the two-dose. But if that's something that's verified, man, that would be a great thing because you'd already be at 92, 93% after 2 weeks of the first dose. So that's something that we're looking at. But we're going to do the two-dose regimen. If folks are having trouble, we obviously want to be able to work to get them scheduled because we do think it's important. And it's obviously important for Moderna. Moderna, maybe that first dose is good too. We don't have the same data that is just submitted with Pfizer, but we want to do two doses. All right, I'll do you, then I'll do you next. I think once the demand starts to soften. So right now, just look at this. This was not advertised 2 weeks in advance. I mean, this was pretty quick. People show up, they want to get it. As we get into 2.5, 3 million, you will start to see the demand soften. So if we have Walmart or Publix or these community sites where they have trouble filling up appointments, well then, yeah, we're going to work to open it up. But as of right now, we still have more demand than supply on a weekly basis, and so we're going to stay the course with putting seniors first. Once the seniors are taken care of, then I think we'll be able to do more. I think that you're going to have a certain number that don't want it. That's fine. We're not forcing it. If you don't want it, you don't want it. You'll have some that really, really want it. I would say that's 2 to 3 million. Then you'll have some that are like, well, look, I'll get it, but I'm not going to necessarily go online and fight for an appointment. So those folks, as it becomes easier to get these appointments, I think we'll start to see them going. But if we're getting 400,000 doses between the 41,000 increase and the federal pharmacy program, we're now over, now granted, we need the Moderna to be delivered, but we're now going to be over 400,000 doses a week for initial doses. And for most 90% of those are going to go to seniors. So we're going to be able to continue to make up some quick ground here. We've also asked FEMA to do the federal sites. They did in California. My initial recommendation, as many of you know, was just send us the doses because we have the infrastructure. They do want to do it through FEMA, so we said, look, if it's additional doses for Florida, we want to participate because we want to get as many doses as we can. So we hope to be able to get some of those here in Florida. I think you will have one of those sites, if they do approve it, in the Tampa Bay area, most likely in Hillsborough County. And they're putting, I think, about 20,000 doses per site per week. So that would be a great increase. We don't think it's going to happen maybe in the next week or two, but maybe as we get into March, we'll be able to get that. Fine, one more question. So for these the 65 and up communities, when we go in, we work with the local government, and then we work with the sometimes the municipality, and then the actual community itself. And so a lot of times they have a list of residents, they can fill it up. And so when you're talking about short notice, then you kind of come in and do it. We do not prescribe how they do that. But what we say is we have an expeditionary capability. I can marshal all this, and I can marshal thousands of vaccines on a 24 to 48 hour notice. If you can get your community to come up, we'll be able to rip through 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 very quickly. So we'll be able to do that. But we don't dictate how it's done. We do not say they can't invite people from outside. That's really up to them how they do it. Most of the communities we've done, like Sun City Center, they have way more seniors than just 4,000 or 5,000. So you can do a chunk of them, but realistically, getting it out beyond that, there's already too much demand for that. Some of the smaller communities, you may have the ability to do it. However they want to do it is totally fine with us. We just believe going to senior-dominated communities allows us to reach a critical mass quickly. And again, this is supplementary to everything else. So Publix, Walmart, Pinellas County sites, all that continues. We're not diverting any doses from that for this. These are additional doses that we try to set aside every week so we can visit 2 to 3 senior communities on an expeditionary basis and do it. You know what? The seniors really appreciate it. The first one we did, the first one we did was we were the first state in the country to begin vaccinating the general 65 and up population. Now, we were all doing nursing home residents, staff, nurses, doctors. December 23rd, we were at Kings Point in Delray Beach, and we brought a setup like this, and we were able to knock out, I think, 1,000 seniors, and they were really excited with it. It worked really well, so we've replicated that around the state of Florida. So we're happy to be in Pinellas County. We're happy to have another 3,000 doses here. But just understand, we're not stopping with this site. We're going to do more next week, 5,000 additional doses next week. And no, it's not just because I grew up in Pinellas County, because we know you guys need it. You guys have a lot of senior population here, so we want to get those numbers up. We want to get 50, 60% of seniors, hopefully over the next many weeks, to be able to do it. So thank you all for participating. I'm glad people are getting their shots. We'll see ya. Thanks.